Welcome to the deep dive. Let's talk about a common problem. You need a professional multi-camera live show, but dedicated PTZ cameras. I mean, the price tag is just staggering.
It's a huge barrier.
So today we're doing a deep dive on a piece of gear designed to get around that cost. The Datavideo PTR-10 Mk II robotic pan tilt head. Our mission is to figure out how, exactly, this thing can turn almost any camera you already own into a full-blown, remotely controlled PTZ unit.
It's really designed as a fundamental economic shift. What's so interesting here is that the PTR-10 Mk II is, well, it's a cost-effective bridge. It lets a small team, or even just one person, run a really sophisticated multicam operation.
Okay, let's unpack the design first.
Sure.
If you're mounting expensive gear on this, the build quality really matters. We know it's light, just 3.4 kilograms. But can it actually handle a real lens and a serious camera body?
Oh, it has to be professional grade, and it is. It's built from aluminum alloy, so that lightweight nature makes mounting it, on a tripod, a wall, or even the ceiling a lot simpler. But crucially, it handles a maximum load of 4 kilograms. And that 4-kilo capacity is the key. It means you aren't restricted to tiny block cameras.
So you can mount something like a mirrorless body.
Exactly. A Sony a7S III, a Blackmagic pocket with a good prime lens. You can put real broadcast quality glass on this and still have full control.
That alone makes the investment worthwhile. Okay, so what about integration? I see they've included both HDMI and SDI video ports. Given that this bridges prosumer and broadcast worlds, were you surprised they included both?
Not at all, really. That dual interface HDMI for your consumer-style workflow and SDI for those long professional cable runs, it just signals that they want this to fit into any environment.
Makes sense.
But here's where it gets really interesting when it comes to power. They included a DTAP connector for DC output.
Okay, so for listeners who might not be familiar, why is DTAP such a clear sign of broadcast quality?
Well, it's a huge nod to broadcast pros because DTAP is the standard. It's how you power everything monitors, accessories, from big V-mount or gold mount batteries.
Got it.
And on top of that, the unit has selectable DC voltage outputs 7.4, 8.4, 10, or 12 volts. This is vital because different cameras run on different voltages, and this head is designed to power any of them directly.
That flexibility is what ties it all together. So we've established it can hold the gear and power it. But if it's going to replace a person, the movement has to be perfect. How fine-tuned is this robotic part?
The precision is extremely high. It has to be for smooth live production, right? You get almost a full circle on the pan 340 degrees, and the speed can range from a creeping 0.12 degrees per second all the way up to 15 degrees per second.
Wow, 0.12 degrees. That's slower than watching paint dry, but that's essential for those super subtle cinematic moves in a live shot.
Exactly. The tilt is a 45 degrees, which is plenty for most studio shots. But maybe the most important point for efficiency is the presets. It can store 50 pan and tilt presets.
50. So 50 pre-programmed shots you can just call up instantly. Okay, so how do you control it? It looks like it speaks every language. IP, VISCA. What's the easiest way for a small team to get started with this?
DVIP over IP is probably the smoothest way, especially with Datavideo's own controllers like the RMC300A. But this is a key takeaway. The functionality is split.
What do you mean split?
The head's movements, the pan and tilt, are controlled by protocols like DVIP or VISCA. But the camera lens, so your zoom and focus, that's controlled separately, usually through a LANSI connection.
So let me get this straight. The head handles the camera's position, but you need a whole separate command through LANSI just to zoom and focus the lens itself. Is that a common thing when you're retrofitting PTZ functions?
It is, because you're adapting a camera that wasn't born a PTZ. You're basically using 2 separate remote protocols to get the effect of one PTZ camera. But the trade-off is you get to use a much higher quality lens and sensor than you might find in a dedicated unit at this price.
And we shouldn't skip over those smaller pro details. I see a built-in tally light right on the front.
Yep, so your talent knows which camera is live.
And it's TAA compliant, which opens it up for government and certain corporate jobs.
Absolutely. Those features just confirm this thing is built for serious professional work.
So at the end of the day, what does this all mean? It seems like the PTR-10 Mk II is really the definition of versatility. It lets you get professional remote control using pretty much any small camera you might have.
Right. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, the ability for one piece of hardware to store 50 precise, complex, repeatable shots. It raises a really important question for the future.
Which is?
What does that level of automation really imply for the efficiency, maybe even the staffing, of small to medium live production teams. That precision is like giving them a robotic assistant for every single camera. Just think about how much more you can do with that kind of mechanical memory.